morning and Merry Christmas to our listeners. Coming up, what is the difference between an owner's identity and the identity of its business? We talk a little bit about where to draw the line on today's Pain Points of Interest, so stay right there. If you're like a lot of small business owners, you and your business are probably almost synonymous. When you're starting out, this isn't abnormal. But as your business grows, you begin to see that this is a growing problem. For example, if you run a service business, then expanding the amount of service contracts may be difficult if your audience views you and the business as the same entity. Individuals and companies may be less likely to pay as much for all the services if they aren't performed by the owner directly. In a business that produces a product, there's a factor of sales, but also the idea that if a business owner and business are seen as the same, then delegating duties becomes more difficult.
Giving your business a life of its own is not as simple as saying the words. There are legal hurdles that are relatively easy to overcome before you even get to the more nuanced differences between the owner's identity and the business identity. As a business owner, it's critically important to not just visualize the business as separate from you, but to take steps in that direction as well. One of the first steps that PaynePoints recommends is to begin by listing your own personal goals and the goals you have for the business as two separate lists. Keep this list, hang it up in your office, or somehow make it apparent to you daily that there are two separate sets of goals at play.
Another part of this recommendation is to start a set of boundaries for your personal goals and your business goals, beginning with your personal goals. Create an actionable boundary in the business with the intention that these boundaries are to allow you the space to achieve your own goals. If one of your personal goals is to have more family time, then an actionable boundary is to not work on the business matters during specific days or hours of the day. Likewise, on the other side, there may be boundaries that you need to set in the personal to achieve business goals. There are many people who do this already, such as setting a specific work schedule and not allowing non-emergency personal matters to interfere with any of this.
Finally, if your personal mission in life is why you founded this business, then it may be time to do the most difficult thing possible for most people. Make that mission the mission of your business and consider altering your own personal mission. We may get some flack for this concept, but rest assured we aren't asking anyone to give up on their dreams or their passions. Instead, the idea here is to allow your dream and passions to have their own life, to which you contribute most significantly out of anyone. And in the time you've created away from the business, apply your passion in a different way.
When you create those boundaries, you may find yourself with more of your own time that isn't being eaten up by the business anymore. Focus on your life during these times. Recognize the difference between this time and your business time. Your business cannot have the deep personal relationships you are able to develop on your own, so work on those that may be very beneficial to your businesses as well.
These really are the first steps to treating your business as a separate entity from yourself. From a legal and financial perspective, if you aren't set up as a separate entity, such as a corporation or an LLC, talk to a CPA or attorney about doing so, because the tax man has their own ways to determine the true separation of a business from personal.
Isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, that's all for today's Pain Points of Interest. We hope everybody has a great holiday and enjoys time with family and friends. And join us tomorrow as we talk about creating a business identity or your brand.